Hi friends, welcome to Learn with TD. So I thought of doing all these videos in my native language, which is Malayalam. So I posted my first video a couple of days back, and the response was very good actually. And a lot of my friends and colleagues requested me to do the same thing in English because everybody will be able to understand that. So I'm very happy that a lot of guys are willing to learn from me, and it's a great honor for me also. So I'll be doing all the classes in English from now onwards. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about. Actually, my last video was in Malayalam, so I'll give a small description about what I have explained in that. It's only about Maya Python programming. Okay, so what all we can do in Maya using Python. So we use Python for automation tools and tools development and such kind of stuff. So I have briefly explained a little bit of explanation in my previous video, and I have also explained that to use Autodesk Maya PLE version, which is a free software, which is actually it's a free license for 1 year. So all those links and description, everything is there in my previous video. So if you haven't seen it yet, so please have a look into it, and you can download Maya PLE version. So on this video, I'll be talking about a very basics of Python, which is like data types and if conditions, loops, such kind of things. So if all these are well thorough with you, you can easily do Python programming in Maya. Okay, so some of you might know all the basics, and some of you might don't know the basics. So let's get started with the basics of Python. Okay, now let's open Maya, and here it is Maya. So I have made a small layout kind of thing in where one side we have the perspective window, and here it is script editor, and this will be the outliner window. Okay, first I have set up all these, and I have saved it as a workspace actually. So here you can save current workspace as, so you can give it a name. So I gave it learn with TD, and I have saved the whole layout. Okay, so this will be the introduction. So I have in the previous video, I have explained about what the script editor is, how to access it, and what all features it is having, and everything. So please go through that, and you will be able to understand what a script editor is. So we start with the data types. Okay, so what are data types? Okay, in Python, you can comment the whole line using a hashtag. Okay, so using the hash button, you can comment out this line. So all whatever is starting with the hash won't be executing in the script. So you can comment, you can do whatever comments you like in this data types. I mean, and the data like the commenting, so you can do that. So whatever it will be helpful for other programmers to understand what your code is, how to what data is being passed where, and everything. Such kind of a small description can be given through this is called commenting. Okay, so mainly there are a couple of data types which we commonly use in Maya. So the first one is string. So what are strings? Strings are nothing but alpha or numerical characters which can include in a quotation. Okay, so for example, the string can be defined as a e equal to a b c d. Okay, so this can be included. This can be defined. The string can be defined like this. Okay, so this is a variable name. Okay, and in this variable name we are assigning abcd as a string. Okay, so what is this variable and what is this variable name? Okay, so variables are just like containers. Okay, it's like just like boxes where you can store stuff. For in our case that will be data. Okay, so that is called as a data types. So different datas will have a different categories, and you can group that categories. So those are called variables. So variable, you can give a name for that variable. That is called a variable name. Okay, so there are a lot of data types in Python. Not only in Python, in almost all languages, a lot of data types are there. So string is one of the data type, and string can be defined as this. So the second data type is a integer. So b equal to 10. So this is a integer type. Integer means numbers. So whatever number is there, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 100,000, 10,000, like that, you can define it as a integer. Not only positive numbers, negative numbers also can be defined as a integer. And the next data type is like a float. Float is nothing but decimal values, which contains decimal values like 100.1, 10.1, 10.5, 10.9, like that. Whatever is you can define with the decimal point is considered as a float. And next one is we have vector data type. Okay, vector data type is defined, it is like the x, y, z coordinates. So this is vector data type. Okay, so vector will always have three values in it. It will be x, y, z. It will be like the coordinates like x, y, and z. Okay, so that will be the vector data type. And we have matrix. Matrix is defined as 0, or else you can give 5 or 5. So this is a 5 by 5 matrix. Okay, 5 by 5 matrix it will be having 5 rows and 5 columns, and the data will be populated in that row. So usually matrix and vectors are used for mainly for calculation and get the point of a specific object in the world space, or get us value in the object, and to do the calculations between the value in the local space and the world space. Such kind of stuff is done with vectors and matrix. Okay, so and one more data type is there is like dictionary. Okay, dictionary is a data type which is defined like in curly brackets, and this will be having a key value pair. Okay, so this key will be there and a value will be there. So this is how a dictionary is been defined. There will be a key and that will be having a value. So to get this value, we have to pass the key. Okay, so that is dictionary. I'll be going in depth with the dictionary data type in future. With the examples, we'll make use of this dictionary, how to use it, less such kind of stuff. And the next data type is array, which is very important. Array is defined as a square bracket. Okay, so this square bracket we can use it as array. So in array is nothing but it's a group of data types. It can be a group of strings, it can be a group of integers, it can be a group of floats, or else it can be group of all of these things. So for example, you can give like or 10 point, 10.5, 10.3, 10.6, 2.6, or else it can be string also. So this is called the array. Array is nothing but a group of variables. We can call that a group of variables for array. Okay, so and we have the same thing like tuple. Okay, tuples are the same array, but it's just like an array, but there are some just a second. Okay, so tuples are defined in a square, normal brackets, and arrays are defined in a square bracket. Okay, so the only difference between an array and a tuple is we cannot change anything in a tuple. Once you define a tuple, you cannot change it. But in array, you can change the stuff. For example, you can add something to the array, you can delete something to array, and you can modify something in array. So in array, you can do that. In tuple, you cannot do that. So whatever it is a fixed data, it will be fixed. You cannot change that data. So these are the main data types which we use mainly in Python. Okay, in inside Maya. So I hope you. I'll just give it like. Okay, so it is strings are there, integer is there, float are there, vectors, matrix, dictionary, array, and tuple. So these are the main kind of data types which we use inside Maya. Okay, so I'll be explaining in depth in the future videos with an example and everything because most of these things will be using when we're doing the coding. So you will be getting familiar very much with all those things. Okay, so now let me explain about the if conditions. Okay, so if condition, what is an if condition? We'll take a new tab and we'll do that. So if condition is like we are checking something and the result will be either true or false. So if I am holding an apple in my hand, so I will tell that if this is an apple, so that condition will be having either a true or else false. Okay, so if it is true, I will hit it. If it is false, I'll throw back. Okay, so that is how an if condition works. So in Python, how we can frame a if condition is like the syntax is if statement over there. Oh, sorry, this will be the condition. If condition, and here you will give a statement. So if this condition, we can give a condition over here which can be either true or false. If it is true, it will go to here. What if it is false? So if will be having a else case, else statement 2. So here we can give statement 1, statement 2. So if this condition is true, this will be executed. If this condition is false, this will be executed. Okay, so for example, we can do is like, so what if we tell like, okay, we can give a variable name a as an integer, we can define it. So we'll give a value of 10. Okay, so and b, we can give a value of 5. Okay, so in the condition, you'll like if a is greater than b, then print a is I'll copy this to save time because b is greater than a. So we have a variable called a, and it is an integer. By looking into it, we have defined it as an integer. It is 10, and we declare the variable b, and that value is 5. Okay, so we are checking over here that if a is greater than B. Okay, so it will be printing that A is greater than B. If this is false, so we will give it is that B is greater than A. So if we run the whole thing, we will be getting that A is greater than B, because 10 is always greater than B. If we are giving it a 50, so now the whole thing will be reversed. It will be telling that B is greater than A. So B is greater than A. So in here the condition is checking that whether this condition is true or false. If the value is true, it will go whatever you write below this will be getting executed. And if the value is false, whatever you're writing below here will be getting executed. So that is the whole logic about if condition. Okay, and you can for if condition you can use one more method which is called as else if, which is called elif and else you can use. So I am adding another value of c equal to, I'll give 20. Okay, so l, see here elif is there, so elif A is greater than C. Okay, so here so you can do it, do like this, and here also you can else. For the time being, and just copying it and pasting it over here. Okay, so what this condition does is like it will be checking if A is greater than B. Okay, if A is greater than B, it will print like this, and after that it is checking with A is greater than C. Okay, so if A is greater than B and A is greater than C, if both these conditions work, this will execute. If or else we'll check some other condition here with elif. So this is how elif is constructed. So for the syntax purpose, I can rewrite it is like if condition statement elif condition statement else statement. So if some condition it is getting true, it will execute this. If that is false, it will go to if another condition will and then another condition checking will happen. So elif this condition, if it is true, it will execute this. If it is false, it will execute this. So this is the basic if condition. So we'll be looking into it very deeply, because conditions are mostly used. We have to check things, how it works and what the values, and we have to compare the values and everything. So we'll be using frequently that if condition and everything. So slowly you will be getting familiar. And in YouTube, you can get a lot of videos, examples, and everything for if condition and other stuff. So you please go through that, and you will get a better knowledge. Okay, now we'll talk about loops. So what are loop? Loop is nothing but iterating through each and every item inside array. Okay, so for example, so you can define an array. I will give numbers as an array. So we have defined an array. Okay, so this is an array. So how will we write a for loop? Okay, so we'll write it as for each in a, for each in a. Okay, so so here we'll just print out each items. Okay, so this will be like, so if we run this, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So this is how we construct a loop. Loop is nothing but each iterating through each and every item inside this list and processing that. Okay, for loop is written for like for, and each is actually a variable. You can give any name. You don't have to each and every time you have to enter each only. You can write anything over here. It's just a container. It's just like a variable. And so this variable, we are taking the first item into this each and we are processing it. So it will go till the last item, and once it processed, it will check for the next item which is not there. So at that time the loop will end. Okay, so how will you use an if condition inside a loop? We'll be looking at. Okay, so the first thing is like we'll like write like if each, which is the variable, which is this variable, is greater than 5. Okay, so we will print it. We'll do one thing is each. So this is string formatting. I'll explain in some other video how to format string and everything. That is a little bit in depth. We have to talk about that. So I'll be explaining in that. For the time being, you just understand that whatever we give in the curly brackets and after which is inside this bracket will go to here. Okay. So just understand like that. I'll be explaining it in detail. So if is greater than a. Okay, so a means in here. Okay, so sorry, in each is greater than 5. So it will check whether this each means the for these items are greater than 5. Okay, if it is greater than 5, it will print this. What if it is fail? Okay, so else print. I'll copy this whole thing. Here we can enter that less than 5. Okay, so in this condition there is one catch, that if 5 is both of them are equal, what if that will happen? Okay, fine, we'll run it and we'll check it out. So 1 is less than 5, 2 is less than 5, 3 is less than 5, 4 is less than 5. O'clock. So 5 is less than 5, which is actually these two are equal. Okay, so we have to put one more condition in that. Okay, 6 is less than 5, 7 is less than 5, 8 is less than 5, 9 is less than 5. Okay, I'll give a challenge to my viewers that how we can write that 5 is equal to 5. So if you figured it out how to do that, put that in the comment, or else just email me the code and let us see how many people can crack this. Okay, so this is how we write a loop, and we'll do write a if condition inside a loop for checking the value or any arithmetic operations or anything. We'll different kind of checking we use if condition. Okay, so this is the basic of Python which we can use in Maya. This is very basics. You can get a lot of videos regarding this. Python has a good documentation in that site, so you can do that. A lot of PDFs are available for this kind of basic examples and everything. So this has to be thorough with. Okay, you should be able to understand what are the different types of variables, when to use those variables, how to use those variables, all those things. If condition, how to construct if condition, complex if conditions, nested if conditions, and everything. How to use loop, nested loops, and everything. So once you are familiar with that, Maya programming is very much easy. You can easily do that. You can easily write stuff because all the commands, they have documentation for all the commands here. So if you are using Maya, you know what all options are there. So for automation and everything, you can use it thoroughly. Okay, so this will be the end of this video. So next time we'll catch up with a new topic. So if you have any doubts, you please ask it in the comment section. And whatever code which I have explained today, it will be there in the GitHub page. I'll drop a link in the description. So that's it, guys, for today. So stay tuned for the next video. So we will be talking all these topics in depth with examples and other stuffs. So please be patient. Slowly by slowly, we can learn Python programming inside Maya. So until the next video, goodbye.